And we're back! Please excuse my terribly inconsistent upload schedule, or lack thereof. This is going to be kind of a shorter video. I'd love to stay longer, but I'm too busy doing... Anyway, it's Pop Month. If you don't know, Poptropica month is the celebration of Poptropica's anniversary month, September, in which everyone gets together and makes a bunch of Poptropica themed videos, and then they're all put together into one big playlist in celebration of Poptropica. Now, admittedly, I haven't played Poptropica in many months, but I couldn't miss the opportunity to make another appearance and gush over one of my favorite childhood games. So sit back, put on a sweater, and listen to me ramble. So thinking about Poptropica again, I see all these cool islands and I think about the future of Poptropica, and I think, which of these Poptropica islands would make good movies? I think there's at least a few of them that are cinematic and unique enough that they could adapt well into a film format. The thing about Poptropica is, the concept of most islands is just to play out a common genre in books or movies, but in the Poptropican island format. Superpower Island is the superhero one, Wild West is the western one, Spy Island is the spy one, Mystery Train is the 90s PC point-and-click mystery adventure game one. You'll notice for those ones they didn't even bother to give them original names because the title is literally just the genre, because that's the point. And then there's others like Twisted Thicket and Wimpy Wonderland that are already based off existing stuff, so they don't count either. But some of the islands that have an original story and an original atmosphere, those ones I think would work well as movies. So here are my top picks for Poptropica film adaptations. So you're probably going to see a lot of spooky islands on this list, but that's just because Poptropica is randomly really good at horror. And I think Night Watch would make a really good suspenseful thriller. Like, the beginning is all deceivingly upbeat, but then the atmosphere of the mall just completely changes the tone. The island itself also has barely any music, so you could make it like a quiet place where it's really quiet, but then there's creepy sound cues and distant background noises. You could also play with lighting and have a bunch of dark scenes where there's foreshadowing and creepy little details in the background and you have to pay attention to see them. It would be a very sensory movie, which I imagine is how most night guard jobs work. Escape from Pelican Rock I can really see as like an offbeat Wes Anderson style comedy, maybe a bit of Edgar Wright too. Everything is yellow and the shots are super artsy and the editing is really fast paced and the dialogue is super witty and deadpan and there's tons of one-liners. I know the plot is kind of basic, but you could really expand on all the relationships between the inmates and make something really interesting and emotional. But it would also just be a good time, you know, a funny, sophisticated movie. Sharktooth could also have that kind of clever, self-aware comedy vibe. Like, instead of making it some jungle adventure movie, you could really lean into the mystery investigation side of it, kind of like Jaws, where the main character is some tenacious middle-aged dude in sunglasses and he has to team up with all the islanders and the goofy lifeguards to try and figure out what's going on with the whole shark thing. Ghost Story would make a really compelling mystery movie. For one, I think the atmosphere would be amazing with the fog and the spooky small town vibes and all that. But I also think it could work really well story-wise. Instead of doing the whole Ghostbusters cheesy tracking device thing, you could make it more like a serious detective movie, where the main character is battling with themselves about whether they believe in ghosts or not, based on the embellishing tourists and the legitimate sightings in the town. You could even put the lodger guy in as a love interest, he's so hot. But it would slowly unravel the story between Valiant and Fiona until the ending was much less scary and much more bittersweet and emotional. 24 Karat could also follow the same vein of being super spooky mystery, but with a really unique plot. The aesthetic would be autumn small town, except dreary and gray. I see it as kind of a Dark Waters, Stranger Things, government conspiracy cover-up thing in the middle of nowhere. And the plot starts to build up gradually as the main character has more and more interactions with the factory and what's in it. And the soundtrack would be amazing, just like it is in the game. Survival Island is already based on a short story called The Most Dangerous Game, but Poptropica adds a survival element to it, which makes it really interesting. I just thought of this now, it could be like a Blair Witch Project found footage sort of thing, where the main character finds a video camera on the first day and then logs everything that happens. After the cabin part of the plot starts, I think that would be especially cool, with all these little background Easter eggs and kind of the spooky atmosphere of the cabin. So before we get to our number one pick, I just wanted to throw out a few rapid fire. Astronauts is actually a really unique concept, and I think it would totally get its own fandom if it just turned into this high fantasy space opera trilogy. Time Tangled is kind of basic, but I could totally see it being like a Bill and Ted style comedy adventure where every historical character is played by some dumb A-list celebrity. And Zombie Island is also kind of basic, but a blueberry smoothie being the cause of a zombie outbreak is kind of amazing, and it's a great twist on the genre. And our number one movie adaptable island is Monster Carnival. I mean, think thriller, adventure, romance. Act 1. The main character meets Edgar and they explore the town together, and the carnival has a fun, yet slightly off-putting vibe to it. Maybe one or two little weird things happen, but the main character just brushes them off. Act 2. As Edgar and the main character grow closer together, if you know what I mean, the main character helps around at the carnival and starts picking up even weirder and weirder vibes. And then Ringmaster Raven shows up and everyone turns into monsters. And the monsters are life-size puppets instead of CGI. Act 3. The main character fights off Ringmaster Raven, rescues Edgar, and saves the whole town. And the main character and Edgar kiss because I'm the director here. And in the last scene, the main character and Edgar share a cute, bittersweet goodbye moment before the main character boards a train and leaves the town, and the movie ends. Wouldn't that be awesome? I want to watch that right now. It would be scary and exciting and romantic, and you could do creepy carnival music and have all these lifelike costumes. In my opinion, Monster Carnival is Poptropica's best original story, and it would make a damn good movie. It could even be its own open-world FPS or a novel or anything. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Did you even make it this far in the video? Which Poptropica islands do you think would make good movies? Well, thank you for watching. Go watch the rest of the Pop Month playlist, and I'll see you next September, apparently.